Hello YouTube. As you can see, went ahead and got most of the DOS reg put together. In this video I'm going to be showing you a tutorial, of course, how to clone a hard drive, and that's what this video is going to be about. So just to let you guys know right off the bat, if those that are trying, of course, recover a bad hard drive and stuff, this is not the way to do it. This is just to simply for those that are, for example, brought a new hard drive that's upgrading to a bigger hard drive, or if they're, of course, going from regular hard drive to SSD, this method will work. Now this is an IDE based system, and some people might have this. If you have one of an IDE connector, one thing you do want to be careful with, and the reason why I zoomed up to there, of course, is this jumper right here. And you got one for master, slave, and cable select. Right on the top, you got where your pins actually set the jumper, and you must set your master and slave relationship on the same hard drive. If you have two master drives, you're going to have a problem, of course, where they're not going to detect each other. Or if you have two drives set to slave, it's not going to work. So you must have one hard drive set as your primary and the other one set as your secondary slave, of course, and then that way both hard drives will work. If you have a serial ATA hard drive, then that's not a problem. You just go ahead and plug it in and hope the BIOS detects it, and you should be fine. Now the next thing you want to do, of course, is know which one's your master and which one's your slave drive, of course. And then we're going to bring the tripod over here. Okay. And we're going to point it at the monitor real quick, zooming back out. Now you do have to have a disk copy utility like Northern Ghost or Cronus Disk Director. Right now I'm using a boot CD because, it's easy, it's an all-in-one disk, and you can download it for free off BitTorrent or off other various sites. Of course, I'm not sure it's 100% legal or not, so I'm not going to say, download legal software. Of course, I'm not recommending it. I do own the full license of a Cronus Disk Director. It's just more convenient to use it off the boot CD since this is what most people use anyway. So let's go and turn it on. The next thing you want to do, of course, is check your boot order. Make sure your boot order is set to boot off the CD-ROM drive. And you can go into your BIOS. All BIOSes are different, so I really can't show you how to. Some you hit F1, some you got to hit delete, and then you just want to go to boot order and check to make sure the CD-ROM, of course, is the first one to boot off of. Now we're going to go ahead and let it boot off the CD-ROM, of course. And I'll show you what software I'm using too. As you can see there, that's the software I'm using. Heron Boot CD 10.2 is the one that is commonly used by most techs, even Geek Squad and stuff. So then you want to select, of course, boot off the DOS disk, which is, of course, the CD. Once you do that, it's going to go ahead and boot. And then it's going to give you 9 options. You want to select option 1 in this case. Okay, once you select option 1, it's going to tell you, of course, the softwares that you can use, the different ones. The one I'm going to use is a Cronus Disk Director since I do got the license for it. You can use Northern Ghost. It really doesn't matter. Depends on which one you are. They're all the same. And here we're going and just do an auto load. And then it's going to give you an option, of course, yes, run Disk Director. Of course, they give you a nice warning saying if you don't own it, don't use it. And then it's going to go ahead and detect, this director suit, of course. Okay, instead of doing this, we're going to go to manual mode. And there it's going to show us both hard drives. It's going to show us the new SSD drive, which is blank, and it's going to show us, of course, the hard drive, which has data. And the hard drive that has data, you can see a gray spot right there that shows that there is data on that drive. So in order to copy a drive, of course, you simply want to click on your source drive, which is this drive. And then you just want to hit, of course, where it shows you the copy right there. You're going to hit that. Okay, so it's going to analyze the partition and do its thing, of course. And then there you go. Now it's going to tell you where do you want the destination to be? Where do you want the new drive going to be? And the new drive, of course, is going to be this unlocated spot. So I'm going to select that. Okay, then I'm simply going to hit next. Or of course, it's going to tell me, hey, that the Bigger drive is smaller, but it doesn't matter because there's only 3.3 gigs of data, so it's going to tell you can set your maximum partition size. This is why I like this software, because it allows you to resize the partition. So if you're using, let's say, a smaller drive to a bigger drive, it allows you to set the maximum data without affecting your data and stuff like that. So you can go and resize your drive and all that. So we're going to go ahead and copy that as primary drive, and we're just simply going to hit OK, since it is good. We're going to keep it the maximum size, of course. Okay, now it's going to highlight both, and it's going to show like both there as FAT32 LMB with the data on there. In order for it to do its thing, now you got to go ahead and push this flag right here, which is going to say commit. So we're going to commit, and it's going to say, do you want to go and proceed? Yes, we do. And it's going to copy. It's only going to take, of course, depending on the size drive and data, it could vary. It could take like 10 minutes to an hour. So we're going to let it copy, of course. In this case, since it's an SSD, it'll go real quick. An SSD is a solid state. It uses memory. So as you can see there, it's going ahead and copying the data now. And not to bore you guys, I'll go ahead and restart the video, of course, when the process is done, of course, to show you what happens. Only because I don't want to make you wait 9 minutes for it to copy the data. Hello, back again. As you can see, it's almost finishing up. So we got about 40 seconds left, and then I'll show you what to do next. And one good thing about this program is you can do it with like a small drive to a bigger drive. The only thing is, if you're going from a bigger drive that has 200 gigs of data and you're using a 100 gig drive, it's not going to work, obviously. So you would have to either A, have a bigger drive, or have a drive that has, let's say 3 gigs on it. Then it's fine. You can resize the partition and everything. It's a pretty easy tool to use. So overall, we're coming up on the last few seconds, of course. And once it's done, it should tell you if it was successful or not. And there you go. It says the operation was successfully completed. So all you gotta do is push OK, of course. You simply just exit out of the program because you don't need it no more. And it's gonna go ahead and go back to the main menu, of course. And this is where we just cut power. We're just gonna go ahead and turn off the computer now. Once we do that, you go ahead and remove your old drive off your system. Of course, you want to turn off the power to your system. It's just good practice. You really don't need to, but good idea anyway. And then we'll go and unplug, and we're going to go and remove the old drive. You want to make sure that your new drive, of course, like I said, if it's ID set to master, if it's serial ATA, it's just plugged in, of course. And then we're going back to the monitor and just powered it on. You can also remove the disc, whatever CD, if you use the Cronus. Oh yeah, I gotta hit the power switch on the back. So we're going to do that now. Remove the CD. And it should boot like it were the regular drive, of course. Now make sure you set your boot order, of course, to boot off the hard drive. In this case, it should automatically do it. And there you go. Just give it a few seconds. It should come up. Yeah, this OS custom, so it takes a while. And as you see, everything's the way I had it from the old drive, of course. And let's go ahead and make sure to protect the size, of course. Give it a few seconds. Okay, there you go. Now it's ready to go. And as you can see there, it detected the full resized to 55 and used 3.66 gigabytes, of course. So overall it was a success, and that's how you successfully clone one hard drive to the other. And yes, it will work with XP, it will work with Windows 7 or Vista, it doesn't matter the OS. Just make sure, of course, the hard drive is going into the same PC. That's the only requirement. So this concludes this part of the video.